Howdy all, I wanted to do a thing. So this guy Kevin emailed me yesterday. He was asking about these Flic2 buttons. These things are tiny little MIDI controllers. They're kind of do anything controllers. They're wireless Bluetooth. And usually they work in a house to automate things. Like if you want to turn off all the lights in your bedroom upstairs, you hook this thing into a little remote doohickey and you have remote controllable lights. You can hit that button and it shuts off everything. Also works for MIDI handily. And what I do with these is I run it through OnSong and have OnSong running in the background of the W-Air app or the K-Air app. I'm using the Katana Air today just so that you can hear the sounds. Now, here when I'm doing it, it's in the background because I'm doing this video. When I flick over now to the internal video, it should still work with this thing going. The internal video, it should still work with this thing going. It should be in the background. Let's hope it works. If not, I'll have to switch to another camera. But very cool, these things, in that you can send a tap as one message, a double tap as another message, and a hold as a third message. So 3 messages, 6 messages out of 2 buttons. That's about all you really need. If you look at your Katana Air or your WAZA Air, there are basically 6 different blocks that you can change. You can change colors on them, you can do anything with it. But 6 is a good number to start with. If you really want to have a simple rig, i.e. just wireless, going to just your little amp and some way of controlling it, that's a cool way to do it. Any 2-button MIDI switch with different behaviors can do that. It all depends on the number of MIDI messages you send. So I'll flip around now and show you this thing in action. So back in, I've borrowed my wife's phone. Here's the rig, guitar, 2 Flic2s, K-Air MIDI running wirelessly there. This is talking to OnSong in the background here, which runs as a general thing for playing a song. You can stick MIDI C in there and change everything as you want in the app. But as long as this app is paired here using add another window, whether it's in the front or whether it's in the back, it's still active. Let's get on with it. So currently this is one way I use this thing. I change it up all the time using the MIDI LEARN, and we're going to run you through that. So 1 click adds a boost. 2 clicks, slow gear. Hold, turns on the limiter. 1 click here, turns on delay 1. 2 clicks, delay 2, hold it down, reverb. So that's a basic way, control of those 6 things. You can change the level of every effect here. It's really the idea is that you're in front of this thing most of the time. Pretty cool, yeah? So key pause there, and then we'll add another step 3. How do you go about reprogramming this thing with MIDI LEARN? So one of the new things that was changed in version 1.5, there's been a lot of changes, import, export, all kinds of stuff, but let's concentrate on this. These are your little parameter windows, and they have your times and a little button there. So I can change what's happening with the slow gear, no problem. Volume, rise time, sensitivity. Want to turn it on? Double click, remember that? That goes up. There's another way that you could do this here. If you set MIDI LEARN, see these little circles right here? With those zeros in there, I'm going to take everything out of here now just by double clicking. Goes back to 0. Now, 1 click. 111. Store that. What I'm getting here is this one.
Probably 2 times to do this. But essentially, all I do here is double click 120.
which keeps coming up, just being sent out by OnSong every once in a while. That's the tap tempo. So one click to hold, come on thing, touch, hold. Gotta be quick. Okay, back from a walk, and I've reconfigured this thing. So again, same old rig, guitar, 2 Flic2s, the old iPad, this works on my iPhone as well, and the Boss Katana, which is over there. You can think of that as being in another room. Typically, this would be the usage case, on a stand, watch your posture. So what I've done now is take this back to how you'd see it. This is John Cordy's ambient thing. I've just messed with it somewhat. So you could have either boost or mod, either FX or delay. You could have both of those, and this one you can put up on your own. In BTS, that would be your regular programming if you pulled this down off the tone exchange. So here's what I've done. I've now added these buttons to control the parameter windows. So it's kind of like pop a button, up comes up the overdrive. You can see what's there, you can go through, test it, try it out, check things, turn it on from here. Show that down a bit if I wanted. Now, if you're doing this from the amp itself, here's something interesting. The boost will go to a minimum of 20 when it's turned off, and will activate and go to a maximum of 100. The full range of this is actually from 0 to 120. So be aware of that. When you're using the front panel, if you're always dialing stuff in on here, you're not using it to the full potential. And that's usually from Boss a good thing. Anyway, back to the old MIDI map. So if I hit this button, again, that disappears. 2 times, and bring up the mod, slow gear, and turn that on manually. And basically, this is one that I've been using a lot because I would tend to have, I don't know, the Air steps or something like that, driving this, or the Pirate MIDI ones, doing all the toggling on and off. So this, if I'm walking around the room, remember amps over there somewhere, this thing can flick up on a TV screen or do anything. You just want to have a quick look and see what the settings are. You can reset them from the amp if you want. You could do it from here. You could put your own MIDI controller like Chrome Ridge. Dial in all those sounds. So hands-free long. Double click. That goes away. So I want to pull up the reverb. Hold down. Comes up, hold down again. So basically that's giving me all the knobs on all the blocks, one at a time on request, if you want to do it. Another really, cool thing with these Flic2s, you can do a lot. You can also set up multiple things on there. So have, I don't know, hit 1 and it turns on everything, hit 1, it turns off everything. Up to you. Really simple, really cool thing. But for Kevin, who was asking about these, I hope that helps. When I'm using this with my Air steps, I've set up the Air steps to actually change based on CC all the presets, so I can step through here and jump exactly to whichever channel I want. Which is going to bring us on to another much more interesting video, and that would be when you're importing and exporting this stuff. What can you do with the imports? Yeah, you can save this, but you could use this as snapshots if you wanted. You could save the same thing 6 times and make small changes, and then simply change it from these, or you could do it from the EV1 buttons, or you can do it straight from the headset. It's a different way to think about it. You can switch sounds for the most part seamlessly. tip that I've done is I've always set up a flat reference here. So that's plain old guitar, nothing on it, and then using other pedals in front, you can do that. If you want to activate reverb or something, no problem. Come on, thing. There. Very handy. Good ways to think about using this boss stuff, especially if you're doing back and forth, like from the WAZA Airs to the Katana Air. One of my favorite things, working at night on these things and not making all this noise. When it's time to make noise, I just save the work from WAZA Air, export it to the headset, and then import the same files from in here and pump it onto the Katana. And back and forth. There's no stopping the workflow like this. You're just developing sounds that you like, building these super presets, which I think is going to be a really interesting video at some point. Anyway, see you.